Welcome to Guelph Fight Wrestle Out. I'm Andrew Sennedra, and this is the guy who takes way too damn long on his list, Cats and Wish Fingers. And today we're talking about Worlds End and how that pay-per-view went down. Not too bad of a pay-per-view. Well, we're going to be working our way back from the main event. So we got the main event. We got John Moxley, versus Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page versus some other guy. Yeah, Orange Cassidy. Overall, it was a pretty interesting match. I kind of wasn't surprised how a lot of things went out. There was an interesting layout to the match, how they were all kind of like teaming up on Mox. We got to beat his ass right away. They put him through a table where he like conked his head, and bloodied him up. That's why he kind of looked drunk there for a minute, I think. He was like, whoa, all out of it. But then, as that act, they got rid of Mox, the personal rivalries came out and they started jumping each other like that. All kind of culminating towards them kind of ultimately screwing themselves out of which Moxley was kind of planning on them doing, like a lot of back and forth sequences, hard hitting shots, a lot of really well timed moments I thought in the match.
Yeah, I like the homage to the Shield where they all lift him up into that powerbomb before he conked his head on the table. But yeah, later on I saw back of his head, I'm like, it was like a lot of blood. This took some serious damage in that powerbomb shot.
He hit his head on like one of the Mexicans or something. The Spanish announce team, whoever was there.
I like how Cowboy's going crazy, he's attacking everybody, and then he's doing the follow-away slam, but then this time he has some variation doing a turnbuckle kind of thing, kill somebody that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked there was a lot of interfering too. Claudio and Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir, that ended up being a lot of interfering going on in the match, which made for a bit of chaos, a lot of twists and turns towards the end. But ultimately Mox gets his win, holds on with the surprise of Adam Copeland and FTR coming out to try to take back AEW, I guess. So we'll see how this plays out, but I think it's a more interesting angle, the Deathriders and what they're trying to accomplish here. It's not really that hard to understand. Those people who don't understand it, I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, it's funny because if you remember, I called out the way that our superstars returned that day, just moments before he actually came out, and he actually, his music hits, oh shit, I was
Everyone
right.
said that it was everyone knew he was coming back. I'm like, we did? I'm like, well, maybe I just don't follow that wrestling garbage online, all that news and stuff that much. I try to ignore that, so I didn't really know he was coming back.
Yeah, I didn't follow any of those news. It was just my gut telling me.
But going on to the second of match for Okada and Ospreay, ultimately facing each other. Okada versus Ospreay was a really good match as well. Obviously, I thought it was a more methodical match for them, which makes sense. Obviously, the second match of the night for both of them, so obviously it's gonna probably a little less paced or a little less fast and stuff like that. Try to slow it down because you're going to be a bit exhausted. I thought there was still some really great moments. I thought there was a great sell on an explosive Okada drop kick from Ospreay, almost flatlined him with that one. That one was pretty brutal. I thought the no sells towards the end with Okada, they were pretty funny. He was just no selling some of Ospreay's stuff, kind of Japanese style. Also some amazing sequences towards the end, between the two guys, really setting up the ending for quite I was surprised by it. I actually thought Ospreay was going to win it, but Okada ends up taking it.
That's interesting. Ospreay looked at the beginning of the match. He looked like he came out a car accident.
Yeah.
He was heavily bitten.
A lot of dry blood on his face.
Yeah, he's a lot of blood from the previous match. Looks like dying. and then also it's funny how Okada oversells. He took a suplex. And then he had the most painful expression on his face. He's like, oh, he's dying on the back.
I'm mentioning how he no-selled, then he oversells a suplex or whatever. I was like, what the hell?
And then one moment I thought was funny where in the ref, he was gonna give him the tombstone Okada was, and then you just see the ref, no.
Oh, when they're on the apron, yeah. Paul Turner was, he's like, no. Yeah, I was like, oh, well, what was he yelling about? Yeah.
He's like, somebody's gonna die from that tombstone, don't do it.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised about some of the kicks outs. Like we saw like a bunch of finishers, like the Stormbreaker,
Yeah,
the Moneymaker, you know.
Moneymaker. Yeah, was it? Yeah, he did kick out of the Rainmaker.
Yeah,
which is a very rare thing to do. That happens. Yeah, that is very rare.
So I was like, holy crap, this is like, you know, keeping your feet on your toes, like what's going on?
Keeping your feet on your toes, keeping you on your toes, the edge of your seat, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was a pretty good match, especially considering they both just wrestled a match not that, much earlier in the night. Now we're moving on to Konosuke Takeshita versus Will Hobbs. Not too bad of a match. I don't know what I really expected from it because I know Hobbs is kind of coming back from a tough injury there. But for the most part, I think Takeshita did quite well. Showed some serious strength with some of his moves, heaving Will Hobbs around. That had to be pretty exhausting for him. A very heavy guy to move around for him. That's what I figured was probably the most exciting stuff was the power moves between those two.
Yeah. And one of the moves that I think took a lot of strength was Takeshita give him like the strong zero.
Oh yeah.
Give him holding with one arm while adjusting with the other arm. He's like, oh man, he's really heavy.
Yeah, that would be quite hard. And try not to drop him on his head, injure him again like Bandito injured himself on his return.
Another interesting moment I thought was when they're at the top ropes and then Hobbs bailed kind of thing, and then he's like trying to pretend because you work my knees all day, all match. I can't.
You gotta come up with something fast.
Stabilize, right?
Yeah. I fell because my knees were being worked the whole time. That was funny when he was even trying to get up there. He was like, "Move your leg, please." I was like, "Move your leg." He's like trying to so he could get in, so Takeshita could get up into the suplex spot. Hobbs was like, "I can't move." He's like, "Get the leg out of the way."
He's like, I don't know where to go. I've never been in the top rope before.
It's been a long time, yeah. But Hobbs did all right for his return. Ultimately, it's not a bad match, but I was hoping for maybe a bit more fireworks between the two. Most of the stuff was just clotheslines and strikes. They didn't do too many big power moves.
They work the legs, work the limb.
Yeah, you got to work that limb. Then we're moving on to what matches after that. I don't even know. Adam Cole versus MJF. Oh. Yeah, I didn't really. Yeah, so, I don't have any notes on that match. I'm taking a nap.
I think this is weird because I was expecting maybe MJF to lose because he's won all the previous.
Oh yeah, the Dynamite ring.
Yeah, Dynamite ring. He always wins it, and then wins it again. Is I don't know. Is he ever gonna lose? Because he's always gonna cheat with this.
And it always goes through the same motions of, oh, you want to fight me? Well, I'll put you through these trials or something. It's kind of these guys, people are complaining about Mox and the Deathriders, but I'm at least Moxley is trying to adapt or create a new personality of some degree, right, to his character. MJF, it's never changing. Him and CM Punk and Ric Flair, they're the same guys all the time, and it's just you go through the same motions over and over again. So there's nothing for me, at least, to be really drawn into.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just watching a movie over and over and over again because
expecting a different ending.
Yeah, they just all they do is they replace his opponent with another opponent, but then the story and then the gauntlet they go through is exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of why can't you change character a bit? Like this guy. Okada versus Ricochet. Okada changed his personality and his character in AEW when he joined the Elite, and we have a new sort of attitude. He's flipping everyone off and acting creepy with his smile. He's a little bit of greasiness, but yeah, Ricochet and Okada was a really interesting match right off the hop. I see why they paced themselves. Mostly Ricochet I felt was the flash and smash type of pace for him. He did most of the exciting stuff. Okada kept it kind of basic. I guess anticipating his match later on in the night, so I'm assuming Ricochet could go all out because Okada was going to win, so he's I have to pace myself. So I could see why that match kind of turned out the way it did.
I think Okada's moment was he was running the ropes and they slapped him in the ears really hard. It was
his whole moment in the match was just running the ropes, and then slapping him in the head.
I thought that was hilarious. And then another funny moment I thought was when Ricochet gave him a flying headbutt. I was like, what the heck was that?
Oh, yeah.
So some funny moments in there.
Now we're on to the best match of the night, the opening match, which I kind of anticipated was going to be Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. Two guys who know each other really well, and it showed. No hiccups. Just the sequences were amazing, like how they're just dodging each other, the moves, back and forth. Very, very cohesive between these two guys. Just phenomenal speed and accuracy with what they were doing. A lot of big moments, a lot of hard hitting stuff. Man, there were some nasty, shots in there. The neck breaking lawn dart that was taken in that match. A magnificent power move sequence. They're just laying each other out in so many different spots. And I felt like Fletcher really showed up quite big in this. I've been saying that for a long time, even when he was doing Aussie Open, that he was going to be like quite the singles competitor. And we're seeing it so much, this year. And it showed up really, really big in this match, in my opinion.
Yeah, Fletcher's had some funny moments, he's going outside, he's like doing his heel thing. Ripping up a sign, and this man's like, I've got another sign in your face!
Yeah, that was funny. He like ripped up, and then like another sign pops up. I was like, what the hell?
Another one I thought was funny was like Fletcher, he gave him like a flying headbutt, and then the other guy just like booted him in the face with like a super kick, and just like a copying a Hanare style kind of thing.
Oh yeah, Ospreay, he super kicked him. Yeah, what was Fletcher thinking? Like, he was just like, I'm gonna float through the air and do a headbutt. I guess Ricochet might have saw that, but I was like, why are they trying to do what Hanare does? Like, it just didn't make sense. Fletcher's just like, wee. He's like flying body sausage and just eats a super kick. I was like, what the hell?
It's all his old days in the faction, right? He's like, hang out with Hanare a lot, they're good buddies.
Yeah, maybe he thought he could trick Ospreay. He's like, oh, he won't see this coming. He only expects this from Hanare. Look at this.
Yeah, you gotta change it up because they know each other so well, right? So he's like, I gotta pull out new moves.
Flying headbutt from Fletcher. But that was a really great match. And I thought those guys, that was probably one of the top 25 matches of the year, probably, if I had to kind of put it down in there. Definitely up into that type of category, in my opinion. But really, really awesome opener. Really smart to open with those two.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a great match.
So overall, yeah, not too bad of a pay-per-view. Not too many twists and turns, but some very good matches. So let's see where we got this ranked. We got good, great, awesome, amazing, spectacular, and fantastic. See, I can do it. I don't know why you can't. But where do you got it ranked?
I'm gonna have to say it's great.
Only great.
It was to me it could have been better. Some of the matches like the Hobbs one I thought could have been better, but but overall, I think it's a great match.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with amazing just because Ospreay and Fletcher shot it up immediately for me, and Okada's matches, Ospreay versus Okada, those were really good. Ricochet had some good moments, and the ending, last match was pretty solid. So I was like, okay, yeah, Ospreay and Fletcher shot it up immediately for me. So I'm going awesome. Yeah, that's what I said, awesome. So great and awesome. Anyways, let us know what you think down in the comments below of World's End, and the surprise of return of Adam Copeland, all ripped and jacked and swearing at Moxley, calling him a kid. Until next time, folks, have some heavy wrestling.